At my fiance's bachelor party, his groomsmen begged me to check his phone. When I did, I understood why. I shouldn't have been at the bachelor party. Women don't crash their fiance's last night of freedom. But Griffin's best friend Callum called me at 11 on a Friday night, asking if I could come to the brewery downtown, not demanding, not explaining, just saying my name like it hurt. I was already in pajamas, and my first instinct was annoyance because Griffin had promised this would be a low-key thing, just the guys having beers and playing pool, home by midnight. But Callum's tone made my stomach clench. I threw on jeans and drove the 15 minutes to O'Malley's. Maybe Griffin got too drunk and needed a ride. Maybe someone started a fight. I ran through possibilities the whole drive, none of them feeling quite right. The brewery was loud when I walked in. I spotted Griffin's group immediately in the back corner, 8 guys around 2 pool tables, and the weird thing was how quiet they were compared to everyone else. No laughing, no shouting, just this tense bubble of silence while the rest of the bar celebrated around them. Callum saw me first and immediately walked over. He guided me away from the group toward the bathrooms where it was quieter. I asked what was wrong and if Griffin was okay. Callum looked at me for a long moment, and I saw something in his expression that I'd never seen before. He said Griffin was fine physically, then corrected himself and said actually no, Griffin wasn't fine at all. None of them were fine, and that's why he called me. Callum pulled out his own phone and opened his messages, scrolling back through a group chat labeled Griffin's Last Rodeo that apparently included all 8 groomsmen. He turned the screen toward me and I saw a photo Griffin had sent to the group 3 hours earlier. It was a screenshot of a conversation between Griffin and someone named Autumn, and the preview text I could see said something about meeting up next week when I'd be at my sister's place in Portland. I stared at it, my brain not quite processing, and Callum said there were more, a lot more. He said they'd all been joking around about Griffin's bachelor party when he started sending these screenshots to the group chat like he was proud of them. Callum scrolled further and I saw more screenshots, more names I didn't recognize, more conversations, texts with someone called Jade about how Griffin missed her body, messages with Reese about meeting at a hotel, a conversation with Morgan where Griffin said his fiancé didn't understand him like she did. The group chat responses from the groomsmen were what hit me hardest. Most of them weren't laughing or encouraging him. They were telling him to stop, asking what the hell he was thinking, saying this was way over the line. Griffin's cousin Dean had written, "Bro, you're getting married in 2 weeks. What are you doing?" Someone named Isaiah had sent multiple messages saying to delete everything and get his shit together. But Griffin kept sending more screenshots, getting defensive, saying he wasn't actually meeting up with any of them, just talking, just keeping his options open in case I turned out to be crazy after the wedding. That phrase made something cold settle in my chest, keeping his options open, like I was a backup plan, like our relationship was a trial run he could abandon if something better came along. Callum said he'd been friends with Griffin since middle school, been through everything with him, but this was different. This wasn't just cold feet or pre-wedding panic. This was Griffin actively talking to at least 5 different women while planning a life with me and showing it off to his friends like it was entertainment. I asked where Griffin was now, and Callum gestured back toward the pool tables. I asked Callum if Griffin knew he'd called me, and he shook his head fast, saying none of them told him. They'd all just watched him get progressively drunker and more careless with what he was sharing. Another groomsman named Phoenix had apparently suggested just taking Griffin's phone away, but Callum said that felt too much like covering for him, like helping him hide something from me that I deserved to know about. I asked if I could see Griffin's actual phone, not just the screenshots, and Callum's expression went complicated. He said Griffin had been waving it around all night, showing the guys photos and messages, leaving it on the table between shots. He said if I wanted to look, this was probably my only chance because Griffin never left his phone unattended usually. Tonight was different because he was drunk and felt safe around his friends. Walking over to that group of guys felt like moving through water. Everything slowed down and got too sharp at the same time, my vision tunneling on Griffin's phone sitting on the high-top table next to 3 empty beer glasses. The groomsmen saw me coming and their conversations died one by one, creating this expanding silence that made Griffin finally look up from his pool shot. He said my name like a question and came over for a hug, his movements loose and uncoordinated from alcohol. He smelled like beer and cologne, and I had to force myself not to step back. I told him I needed to talk to him about something and reached for his phone. His hand shot out faster than I expected for someone that drunk, covering the phone before I could grab it. Full story on my channel and linked below.